how'd your fast go over the weekend?
Oh, okay. So I did a full 24 hours, but Logan will tell you I did not do the full 38. He did the 38. Once I got to 24 hours, I mean, it was still a good fast. I was fucking dying. So I threw something back. I did. But it was good. It was good. I mean, it's good to clear the body. I mean, even a 24-hour fast, you feel it quite a bit. And the mind's clear. You're sharper. This is why I do the fast in the morning because my mind is sharp in the morning. If you fast throughout the previous evening, all the way throughout the morning, don't eat breakfast. Don't eat until you get back from the gym around noonish, whenever I get back from the gym. Sharp all morning, especially because you put a quad shot down with an empty stomach. You're ready to run through a brick wall. And your body slows down and uses energy to digest. So if you're not eating in the morning, you get less groggy and you stay more alert in the morning if you're just empty stomach. And so I started doing that whenever I was building the insurance business. Is I would start doing interviews at 8 a.m. and I wouldn't be done till noon. So I would do my all my interviews fasted and I would be destroying people in the interviews.
Yeah,
Just
you feel some people would call it anxiety, but you feel like a I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like an anxiety feeling. Like you feel tense, like you feel tight. Everything is like I got to do this. It's like you feel super. I don't know what the exact word is for it, but I know what you're saying because I usually don't eat breakfast or lunch until 11 or 12 too. Like I'll go all morning, I'll work out, I'll do this podcast, and then I'll can stay on the computer working. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you have that feeling that comes over you. You're super tense almost. Like you're just
yep.
getting stuff done. It's not
Yeah.
anxiety, but it's like you feel like everything is super tense on you.
Yeah, which is good. That's good
Yeah.
for competing, especially for men. You want to be tense. You don't want to be comatose all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's always, coming off of a sugar rush because you probably ate, your fucking Hello Kitty cereal and sugar blasting through your head and your diabetes is going crazy. So, yeah, you probably feel tired in the morning. But in that feeling of being hungry and that tenseness that you get
Hmm.
is something that comes from thousands of years ago whenever we would hunt for food,
That's primal
right?
for sure.
It's primal, yeah, because your body is going into ketosis. You're fasted. You need food, so your body instinctively becomes hyper alert, hyper tense, because you got to get ready to go fucking get some food, motherfucker. You're gonna die. So it's good to put yourself into that mental state whenever you're trying to work, especially in the mornings whenever most
Hmm.
people are tired. But that's what they do. The first thing they do is they get up and then they have a big fucking breakfast and immediately put their body through stress again, making it digest, using energy. Like your body uses energy when you digest food, right? It's not something that just happens by magic. No, your body's using energy to digest. So don't use that energy in the morning. Be alert, get the business, get to working, and then when you really have to eat, middle of the day, boom, go for it.
Especially in today's day and age, for people like us, people that work on computers all day, every day, you don't need 1,500 calories for breakfast. Like you're gonna sit your ass on a chair looking at computer screens all day. Make your body, make your body burn some calories, burn some fat until noon. You're not gonna die. You'll be okay. But one thing I
Yeah.
wanted to touch on, why I asked about the fast, is because one thing about the fast I saw, or at least the 72-hour fast, which I think is the most extreme end of it, in which I see people talk about, doctors and stuff, is that they say that the 72-hour fast actually can kill cancer cells. Like that's one of the things that they say, because your cells get so deprived of nutrients and food that they just start eating each other. And the cancer cells are different than all the other cells. Obviously, they're white blood cell conglomerates. And your healthy cells, red blood cells, all that will actually start eating the white blood cells because they're different, and they actually will attack them. So that it's actually been proven to kill white blood cells, cancer cells in the body. That's 172-hour fast a year. I thought that was very interesting.
That's really interesting.
Hmm.
Now I'm intrigued to do one. I got to do better than 24 hours. 24 hours was okay, but 72, 3 days, that's a
So
fucking.
what I've seen people do with the 72-hour fast is they'll do the bone broth. I don't know if you did the bone broth what years, but some people will do some bone broth just to get some flavor, something in the mouth. It's 0 calories, but I think it has a little bit of protein in it, a little bit of sodium, a little salt. So you could actually survive for 3 days without killing yourself. And then plus electrical electrolytes in the water. That's another thing you could do to kind of just stay hydrated and work out and stuff while you're on a 3 day
Beauty.
fast.
As I say, that's what I'm drinking right now. I put electrolyte in the water in the morning, so I do. Interesting enough, we should talk about morning routine real quick. Because in the morning, to stay fasted, it's not that I don't consume anything. The first thing I do in the morning is uh, full bottle of water, hammer one of these, get another bottle of water, fill to the top, and then I throw in my electrolyte pack. I use Water Boy because it's no sugar in them. Boom. So it's Himalayan sea salt, or not sea salt, Himalayan pink Himalayan
Pink
salt.
salt, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Put that into the second bottle of water that I have. And then I get the quaddy, boom, throw back the quaddy. And then I also have beef liver and beef organ capsules, which is literally just beef organs that are ground up and put into a capsule. And I take that similar to a vitamin, except it's just grass fed, grass finished, real food, except it's just ground up into a capsule. And then boom, I take the capsule. So no calories. That's fucking keeps me fasted, but I'm still putting things into my body to help me wake up, activate everything, get me ready to go without actually consuming calories, right? So it's all about optimizing your ability to perform. You're an athlete as a business person, as a businessman, you're an athlete, right? So you got to treat your body that way. Athletes, they got to eat optimal, they got to train optimal, they got to recover optimal so that they can perform better on the field. You should look at your mind, you should look at your business in the same way. You got to prepare your mind to be able to compete at the highest levels throughout the day in your business, or even just in your personal life, right? The sharper that you are, the better that you feel, the better your life is going to go. So you got to be proactive in the way that you take care of yourself. Because if you're a Ferrari, which Bobby is, which I am, you're going to have to put the best type of fuel into that engine in order for it to be able to operate at the level it's going to operate. I'm a Ferrari, therefore I'm going to consume the correct type of fuel to power my engine. If you're a Toyota and you want to live your life as a Toyota, go ahead, eat fucking dog shit, Prius or whatever the fuck you are. But we're Ferraris, so I'm going to consume products to fuel my engine.
Yeah, so my morning routine looks very similar. I definitely wake up with a nice glass of water. I do have to start getting on the electrolytes. I do want to start doing that. I have no excuse. I have a grocery store right under my store, so I'm gonna look for one. Start doing that. But one thing that I like to do that really I've noticed over the past year that I've started doing, and it really helps me a lot just to get up for the day, get rid of that brain fog, if any, is I do a morning walk every morning. As soon as I get out of bed, I put this outfit on, got pants on, and I go for a walk. It's a 1 mile loop I have down to a science. I do it every single morning. 1 mile, it takes about 17 minutes and 30 seconds. Have it timed out. It's about the same time every day. And once I do that 17-minute walk and I come back, I feel like a totally different person. I'm fully awake. The blood's pumping. If it's cold outside, it's even better because then I gotta, it makes the body. It's almost like a cold plunge. I'm walking through cold. But I live in Florida, so that's not the case most of the time. Most of the time, it's warm. Sometimes, I'm getting a little sweat on, usually, even sometimes in the mornings in the summers, going for a walk. So when I get back, I'm fully awake. The blood's pumping. Then I'll go in for the espresso. Go in for the espresso, have a nice coffee, hit the caffeine hitting, and by that time I'm ready to do whatever. If I'm gonna jump on this call, do the gentleman's code on Wednesdays, I'm ready to go. If it's just a normal day for me, I'll usually go to the gym. I'll get things done. I'll get my pump in for the day for an hour, and then I come back and it's ready to work. It's go time from that. So I like getting up, getting the body moving for me helps me so much. If I don't do that walk, I'll be so groggy in the morning, just kind of like you said, lackadaisical, just sitting on the couch or just scrolling on my phone. So if I get up and I do my walk in the morning, I'm a new man.
Yeah, that's a fantastic. That's such a great thing to do, especially whenever you live in a nice area. For sure, people should do that. And that the fact that you get your blood pumping, that you're awake by the time that you get back, and then hit the espresso, even better,
Hmm.
because you get less of a crash too from the caffeine the longer that you wait to actually drink it in the morning.
I try to prolong the espresso as long as possible. I always crave it as soon as I wake up, but I'm like, I know if I go out and I wake up naturally first before I get the espresso in me, the espresso will hit harder. So that's something I notice about myself.
Exactly. No, and it's true. Now, personally, of course, I fail because the first thing I do go for is the espresso. But yeah, the longer that you wait to drink it, the better because Basically, what they found is the caffeine obviously attaches to receptors in your mind that are the ones that. What's the name of the? It's I knew the name of the enzyme, or not the enzyme, the protein that would basically connect to these receptors. But anyways, long story short is whenever you wake up, you have this chemical in your mind, in your brain that dissipates over time, which makes you tired. So as it's dissipating, the longer that you let it dissipate and completely leave your body or completely leave the area in your brain, then when you drink the caffeine, it will bind to those receptors, keep you awake, and then when the caffeine wears off, there's no longer that molecule from the morning lingering around to then go ahead and attach to those receptors
Oh,
again. So that's why you
gotcha.
get that crash. Yeah. So if you drink the caffeine way too early, you don't allow those what would you call them? Proteins or yeah, we'll call them proteins. Probably not proteins. But we'll call them molecules. You allow those molecules. You don't allow the molecules to dissipate. So by the time that the caffeine wears off, then those molecules get the chance to go and bind to those receptors again, and you get that crash. But if you wait in the morning and you allow them to dissipate and then drink the caffeine, once the caffeine's gone, there's no more of those molecules around to go ahead and bind to them afterwards. So you don't get the crash as much.
Interesting. I wasn't ever very good at biology, but that's good to know.
Yeah, me, competent in all realms.
Biologist.